Okay. Deleted. Now, these are just normal world enemies, but yeah, deleted. What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you my favorite Diablo 4 Barbarian build that I kind of made by accident, and it's pretty OP. Now, I don't really follow the traditional builds. I don't follow what everyone else is doing. I mix it up and I play with what I feel is right for me, and this is a really good mix and it's really fun. Now this I started using from level 50 and I'm now level 55, and this is World Tier 3. So let's go over everything and I'll show you this insane build that has been smashing through Nightmare Dungeons and all sorts of other fun activities. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is go to the abilities. Now I'm doing a bleed build just because I enjoy bleed build, and I'm running the flurry. And then I'm also running Enhanced Flurry. The reason I'm just doing this is because the way I play the game, although I do mobbing and bosses and stuff, every now and then I'll come across one or two enemies that I can't be bothered using my other skills on, and I'll just finish them with this. That's all this is used for, purely that reason. Next we have Whirlwind, and I have 5 skills into that. And then I have the Enhanced Whirlwind, and then I have the Furious Whirlwind. This is a bleed build, remember. Next, I have three skills into this one. Now, keep in mind, guys, this build isn't perfect right now. I am still messing around with it, but it's very, very good. Next, we have Ground Stomp, and I have 2 points into that. And then I have increased Ground Stomp duration, and then I have the Tactical Ground Stomp for Fury. Then I have the Rallying Cry. You can see the points there. I have Enhanced Rallying Cry, and I have Tactical Rallying Cry. I have 2 points into Outburst. Now the reason I'm doing this is because this is kind of a semi-Thorns build as well, because you'll see the weapon I'm using in a second has a lot of Thorns damage. And then I also have Tough as Nails. Now I am contemplating on maybe changing this around. I just had a few spare skill points left, so I put it into that. I have Warcry. I have 3 points into Booming Voice. I have 1 point into Aggressive Resistance. I have 2 points into Prolific Fury. And then I have this one, which is Death Blow. And then I have 3 points into this one, 3 points into this one. And then on the Death Blow, I have Death Blow deals 100 increased damage to bosses, and then if Death Blow damages at least one enemy, gain Fury. Now this build is for everything, so it's for bosses, it's for mobbing, it's for single target enemies. That's the point of this build. And then down here I don't use any ultimates, and I'm using the Unconstrained. Now there's a few ones you could potentially use instead. If you wanted to, you could use this one, which is insane. So your core skill deals 135% increased damage, but costs 100 more Fury. I did try that. It works insane, and that would mean that this here has over 100% more damage. The only problem is you use your Fury very quickly. So this is good for mobbing, but when it came to bosses and single target enemies, it was a bit difficult to do. Okay, so just to keep it nice and simple, this is what I'm using. So now let's get into my gear. This is probably the most important right here. This single-handed weapon right here has made this build insane. So first of all, we have 14% damage to bleeding enemies, which is bleed build, 29% damage to close enemies, lucky hit, and then we have damage while berserking, insane. And then we have gain 3,000 thorns while berserking. So this weapon is just insane. It made this build insane. I don't use these two, but obviously some of this stuff still counts. So you can have a look at that. I use Ground Stomp on the Earthquake Ground Stomp. Works very good. Now let's look at my other gear. We'll start at the top here. We have... this is just a resistance piece, so as you can see, bit of armor, bit of resistance. Nothing special there. We have some dexterity, and we have some thorns here, which is quite helpful, and then damaging to elite enemy grants you a barrier. This one here, plus 26 strength, thorns increases with strength. We have critical strike, lucky hit chance, and we have 2 ranks of Whirlwind. Very important. But this one is insane. After spending 100 Fury, your next weapon mastery skill deals 86%. Now I'm actually about to change this one out to this one. It's the same one, but it was 180%. What this means is that when I do my Whirlwind Fury, let's go outside real quick. So let's just pretend that I've done a whole bunch of mobbing with Whirlwind. When I do this one, and I've spent 100 Fury on Whirlwind, that does plus 80% more damage. It's insane. You can really stack this up and do insane crits and all sorts of stuff. So for this build, sorry, what are we doing here? So for this build, after spending 100 Fury on your next weapon mastery skill is so important. The next one is we just have some dexterity, damage reduction, war cry. This one we have strength, slow duration reduction, cold resistance, dodge chance, and then just lucky hit. On our rings, we have, this is important, 1+ rank of all mastery skills. We have flurry reduction, cost, movement, speed, damage, two-handed, bludgeoning weapons. So I'm not actually using a bludgeoning weapon at this point in time. It's slashing, so that doesn't really count. We've got unstoppable, and then I have 170 armor. This one here, lucky hit. Damage. So with this build, guys, you want damage to close enemies, damage to stun enemies, and damage to bleeding enemies. Okay. Now the gain 1,000 thorns while berserking, I need to change that out because as you can see, I already actually have it on this one. So that's why it's blanked out. I am going to re-roll that. Sorry, I put another aspects on it. 170 armor. This one here, we have lucky chance, fortified generation, damage to bleed enemies, and then damage to slowed enemies. And in thorns, damage dealt has a 20% chance to deal damage to all enemies, plus 70 armor. Now, this is the expertise I'm running. 20% of direct damage you deal is inflicted as bleed. This one's pretty good, or you can mess around with the other ones. It's not too important. My Paragon is just vulnerable, a little bit of vulnerable damage, and nothing really too crazy here. I'm just trying to get it up. But you know, strength, dexterity, bit of physical damage and strength, right? Nothing too crazy here. But let me show you the rotation here, and then I'll put some stuff at the end where you can kind of have a look at some nightmare dungeons. So let's do the rotation first. Oh, let me just... Okay, sorry. So the rotation is going to be B, Y, X, and that gets my flurry up. See? Ground Stomp nearly gave us full flurry. So that's insane. Now, I'm obviously done with my skills right now, so I'll do it again and I'll show you some damage on some enemies. Alright, so there's an event going on down here. Let's have a look and see what kind of damage we can do down here. Let's try to get a bunch of enemies out, okay? Watch me just demolish all of these guys. Okay. Deleted. Now, these are just normal world enemies, but yeah, deleted. They just got absolutely deleted. So, even without the perks, yeah, this is just so much fun. Absolutely insane fun build. Yeah, really like it. So, yeah, so there you go, guys. That's my insane Barbarian Diablo 4 build that I'm doing right now. It's extremely fun. I'm loving it. I'm loving having the whirly twirly thing and the death blow. It's just insane because you can do everything. You can do mobbing. You can do single target enemies. You can do bosses because you got the death blow. It's just, this is a really, really good all-round build. I'll see you guys in the next video.